Hey, what's up, guys? Gemini back with another video, and excuse me. In this video today, I'm going to talk a little bit about the real death of WCW, because I know damn well that there's still WCW fans out there, even though it's been gone for 14 years. I know there's WCW fans out there, and I'll go as far to say I was the biggest WCW fan probably in the world, and still to this day when somebody says WCW to me, it turns my head, and I want to talk to people about WCW because I was there. I lived it, you know, from the late 80s until the last match between Ric Flair and Sting. The real death of WCW, as we know, was caused by mismanagement and doing a lot of stupid stuff. Like, for instance, I was at Super Brawl 99 in Oakland, and Ric Flair and just got turned on by David Flair, and he joined the NWO. And the next night they went to Nitro, and instead of advancing this feud, David Flair and Ric Flair didn't even show up for TV the next night. And so it totally killed any momentum for this angle. That would be the equivalent of the night that Stone Cold Steve Austin won the title at WrestleMania 14. That would be the equivalent of him not showing up and starting his feud with Vince McMahon the next night. Stupid stuff like that. And then the later days, you know, when they killed off the NWO, and they, like Dark Horse says, they stopped building stars, they stopped building for the future. They put all their eggs in one basket with the NWO, and then when it was over, they didn't have any new stars, and they had to scramble, and they had to start pushing a bunch of young guys that no one ever heard of. And stupid gimmicks were hung with these guys, like the Maestro and the Demon and Kwee-Wee. And the show just got dumb because it was all featured around young talent, and the established guys had already gone on their way. You know, Goldberg was out, and Nash was out, and Hogan was out, and they did this stupid New Blood gimmick. You know, they had like 50 heel wrestlers versus the Millionaires Club. And the Millionaires Club in this, with Lex Luger and Sting and DDP, was supposed to be the guys who look like the baby faces, but instead they look like a bunch of arrogant jackasses the way that the New Blood portrayed them. And they had Hulk Hogan in the Millionaires Club, and their pay-per-views got really stupid. They started showing matches on pay-per-view that you really didn't care about, like Jason Jett, and all these other jobbers started wrestling on pay-per-view. You started wondering, like, why you even ordered their pay-per-views. And their big stars were, in the late years, were Booker T and Scott Steiner, which were, like, Booker T and Scott Steiner at the time were great wrestlers. You know, they were very good, but they were, like, upper mid-card guys, and they were getting launched to the top. You know, stupid stuff like Bash at the Beach 2000, you know, with Hogan and Jarrett, and Jarrett didn't want to wrestle Hogan, and then Vince Russo came out and cut this stupid shoot promo, and then at the end Booker T and Jeff Jarrett, and it got dumb. It got really dumb at the end, and it really turned the fans off. And then, of course, you know, David Arquette, you know, winning their world title. And I always remember that because on one side of the fence you had David Arquette as the WCW champion, and then you had The Rock, who was wildly popular on the WWF. And I knew right then and there that the WCW was in trouble when they started doing stuff with Tank Abbott and 3 Count. And the show just wasn't very good. And then Saturday night, WCW Saturday Night, which was a good show for years, basically just turned into like a preliminary show with a bunch of jabroni wrestlers. So people stopped watching that. NWO, they tried to bring it back like, 4 or 5 times, and it never worked. They brought in Master P, you know, doing all that hootie hoo stuff. They brought in like DJ Rand towards the end. It just got dumb, and I think the fans just got sick of it because they forgot about like what really built WCW up, and that was cruiserweight wrestling action and legendary figures like Ric Flair and Sting main eventing. They could have ran Ric Flair and Sting in the main event at all the pay-per-views and probably drew solid numbers. Instead, they got away from the tradition of wrestling. You know, the Four Horsemen getting mocked by the NWO, you know, was terrible. And that, it just turned a lot of people off, you know, with them disrespecting tradition so much. And this legitimately caused the death of WCW, was all the dumb stuff they started doing towards the end. You know, in '98, the NWO was still pretty hot. If you think about it, February '98 with Sting and Hogan at Super Brawl, it was still pretty hot, you know, at the time. But by June '98, July '98, you know, when they started splitting the Wolfpack up, things got really stupid, and you started putting people in the NWO that really weren't NWO worthy, like Conan. And then they tried again, you know, when they took the belt off Goldberg with the, or they beat the shit out of Goldberg. The NWO did that figure poke of doom thing, and I don't know. But still, I mean, I'm a fan of WCW, like '88 through, oh, I don't know, like around '98, '99. I mean, I watched in '99 and 2000 2001, but the show was really hard to stomach, to see a once great organization like WCW, a proud organization, just turn into like just basically just stupidness. And they stopped selling tickets, you know, they were having to give away free tickets for their building, and they got really dumb towards the end. But yeah, just dumb decisions, dumb story writing, dumb gimmicks. People stopped caring, you know. But I remember the glory days of WCW, so that's some reasons why I think that was a lot of the death of WCW. So thanks for watching. I'm Gemini. I could do this all day, you know. I could go on all day about WCW and some of the dumb stuff they did, but Master P was terrible. It just got stupid towards the end. So I'm Gemini. Thank you.